He was running from a case, dropped a hit on the run, made a song about the body, now he's done. Posted the ops he shot on live with the sticks, now his name's on a shirt, can't take back that skit. Dissed his own guys, got left in the whip. Stole a gun from a killer, next day got flipped. Switched sides, slid reckless, no mask, no plan. Now they faces in the news. That's how the story ends. This is drill rappers who are crash outs. Tay-K. Tay-K was just 16 when he caught his first murder charge. That alone would have ended most careers before they started. But what made Tay-K a certified crash out in the drill world was everything that happened after. In 2016, he was charged in the killing of Ethan Walker during a robbery in Mansfield, Texas. Tay-K was part of a crew that lured Ethan and his friends to a house, set them up, and then things went left. Ethan got shot and killed during the home invasion. Tay-K got hit with capital murder, but before trial could start, he cut off his ankle monitor and ran. That's when he did what would go down in history as one of the most reckless moves in rap. He dropped the race while he was literally on the run from the case. In that song, he rapped, "Fuck a beat, I was trying to beat a case, but I ain't beat that case, I did the race." Tay-K went viral almost instantly. The video for The Race showed him in front of his own wanted posters, flexing about fleeing police while rapping lyrics. The song blew up, and Tay-K became a symbol of rebellion to fans across the country. But behind the clout was real bloodshed. While on the run, Tay-K went to San Antonio and allegedly again. This time, it was Mark Salivar, a 23-year-old photographer who thought he was linking up with Tay-K for a shoot. Instead, Tay-K and his homie Jalen Bell tried to rob him. Salivar resisted, jumped on the hood of the car to stop them, and Tay-K reportedly opened fire and gunned him down on the spot. This second murder added even more heat to the case. Tay-K was no longer just a teenager with one body. He was now facing multiple murder charges, and the feds were watching. They caught up with him soon after, and from there, everything spiraled. In 2019, Tay-K was convicted for Ethan Walker's death and sentenced to 55 years. But his legal issues were far from over. He still had to stand trial for killing Mark Salivar. During that trial, his own girlfriend, Joanna Reyes, took the stand against him. She gave up every detail, saying Tay-K had told her to help find a photographer, then pulled a gun on Salivar when he refused to give up his camera bag. After the shooting, she testified that Jalen Bell gave Tay-K a high five and said, "You caught your first body." That testimony helped seal Tay-K's fate. Then there was the prison drama. Tay-K couldn't even stay low while locked up. He allegedly tried to start a gang behind bars called the Rugrats. Word got to the warden that Tay-K and some others were planning to go to war with a Hispanic prison gang called Tango Blast. He got thrown in solitary after they discovered documents laying out the gang's rules, called the Laws of Power. That wasn't the only incident. There were rumors he stabbed a prison guard, though that was never confirmed, and he was tweeting in 2023 about inmates murdering their cellmates on his block. Even his supporters started switching up, accusing him of snitching just for tweeting about it. Tay-K, for his part, denied it and said he just wanted one shot at adulthood. He claimed being tried as an adult wasn't fair since he was only 16 at the time. He even pointed out that one of his white co-defendants in the Ethan Walker case got tried as a juvenile while he got hit with decades in adult prison. But the case that fully cooked him was the one for Mark Salivar. He got hit with another 80 years. That brought his total sentence to 135 years with no parole in sight.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder. Excuse me, no. No, out of the courtroom. Out of the courtroom now.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you don't ignore that. Sometimes, as you can tell, people are invested, correct?
The trial was messy too. Tay-K's lawyers tried to paint Salivar in a bad light, but the judge shut it down. When they attempted to bring up things found in Salivar's bag that might have helped their argument, the judge warned them to stop. Tay-K's own legal team was fumbling, and by the time his sister testified about the abuse they suffered as kids, it was too late. She told the court about how their dad used to beat them, even strapping Tay-K to an ironing board. She said they ran away from home because of it, and that's how Tay-K ended up in the streets. But none of that mattered to the judge, who still held him accountable for what he did. Behind all the legal chaos was a young rapper who had the entire internet watching. Tay-K's track, The Race, wasn't just a hit, it was the soundtrack to one of the most chaotic rises and falls in rap history. Everyone from Lil Yachty to fans on Twitter was hyping him up, but he was already facing decades before he could even touch a major label. He claimed he had more music ready to drop from jail and was trying to appeal, but that hope died fast when the 80-year sentence dropped. The feds weren't playing with him anymore, and all the internet fame he gained didn't matter when it came to sentencing. His girlfriend flipped, his lawyers got outplayed, and the courts made an example out of him. Even with all that, Tay-K never stopped talking. He stayed active on social media through proxies, saying he was still writing music and believed he deserved a second chance. But fans who were once ride or die started distancing themselves. Some said he threw his life away, others blamed the system. Either way, Tay-K went from one of the most viral young drill rappers in the game to one of the most tragic examples of a crash out. From cutting off an ankle monitor to committing another murder while on the run, everything he did after the Ethan Walker case just made his situation worse. He wasn't just fighting a case, he kept adding new ones. Each move stacked more time onto his sentence, and now he's likely to spend the rest of his life behind bars unless some miracle appeal gets granted decades from now. Tay-K's fall wasn't just about legal mistakes, it was the mindset. Instead of laying low and building his case, he used the situation to boost his rap career, dropped music bragging about the crime, and kept pressing the gas with reckless moves even while incarcerated. Even starting a fake prison gang with a detailed rulebook showed how far removed he was from making rational decisions. His whole rise and fall became a cautionary tale for other drill rappers trying to mix street cred with internet fame. The attention might bring streams, but the feds are always watching. In the end, Tay-K will be remembered as the kid who tried to outrun the law and make a hit song out of a murder case. But what started as clout chasing turned into a lifetime behind bars. His name still gets brought up in debates about how young rappers crash out, and he'll always be one of the most extreme examples. Whether you think he was a product of his environment or just made terrible choices, the facts speak for themselves. Tay-K had the chance to make it out and crashed harder than almost anyone in drill history. No other rapper dropped a hit while actively being a fugitive, killed again before even getting caught, then tried to start a prison war while facing capital murder. Tay-K's story is locked in as one of the wildest crash-out tales the game's ever seen. Joker OTV. Joker OTV was the definition of a crash-out, brilliant on paper, deadly in the streets. Behind the books, trophies, and his role as team captain at Samuel Fells High School, Noah Scurry, better known in the streets as Joker, was hiding a dangerous double life. While teachers praised him for having the highest SAT scores in the school, and coaches trusted him to lead the basketball team, the streets of Philadelphia saw a completely different side. He was already affiliated with multiple sets, including the Whackers and Certified Clappers, CC, two crews known for intense beef with Fast Break, Black Flags, and the older clique M24. But none of that was visible when he was hooping or walking the school hallways. Nobody suspected the honor student was also racking up rumors of being tied to multiple bodies. Joker was straddling two worlds that were destined to collide. Just one day before his death, he posted a video to his YouTube channel wearing a Joker mask and flashing firearms, fully embracing his street identity. That video would end up being an eerie preview of the crash-out that was coming. On May 28, 2023, just after 9:30 p.m., gunshots rang out on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street in Philadelphia's Frankford neighborhood. The violence left a 66-year-old man named Ivan Hall dead and three 15-year-old boys, including Joker himself, injured. Joker was shot but survived the attack. Two teens were hit in the legs and feet. One was shot in the ear and both legs. Joker's name started ringing more than ever after that, especially once word spread that he was plotting retaliation while still recovering from his injuries. Joker's ops, mostly from M24 and Fast Break, had been gunning for CC for a minute. Certified Clappers were becoming one of the most active crews in Philly, especially on the east side. Joker, despite his young age, was already gaining a reputation for being hot-headed and reckless. When he got shot, Sources said he instantly started calling around, looking for who did it and trying to line something up for revenge. He didn't care that he had just been hospitalized. He wanted blood. That energy made him dangerous, but also unpredictable, a classic crash out. On July 20th, 2023, Joker was allegedly out looking for payback. That night, a triple happened on the 5800 block of Master Street around 8:24 p.m. The target wasn't confirmed, but one of the victims was 25-year-old rapper YNG Cheese, the son of a known community figure called Gilly. Joker's name wasn't officially tied to the crime, but street rumors claimed he was in the area heavy that night. Whether he was looking for revenge or just caught in the middle, nobody knows for sure. But tension in the city rose, and Joker was now moving like he had nothing to lose. By this time, Joker had ditched all attempts to keep up the student-athlete image. His social media presence had shifted entirely to his street persona. His posts started getting more aggressive, more visual. He was showing guns, flexing with other CC members, and going viral for wild clips. The balance between school and the streets was gone. He wasn't living a double life anymore. He was all the way in. The problem is, when a crash out like Joker starts getting attention, both his enemies and the police start paying closer attention too. He had already been rumored to be involved in more than one shooting before he was killed, though no formal charges ever stuck. Still, Joker was moving sloppy. He posted too much. He made threats online. He showed too many guns. He stopped caring who saw what. That kind of energy only ends in two ways. Just months later, Joker's life would come to a tragic end. Though the exact circumstances remain foggy, the streets say it was tied to everything he'd been posting, flashing, and saying. His ops were watching closely. And when you're tied to multiple beefs, from M24 to Fast Break to the Black Flags, any of them could be the one to catch you lacking. The exact shooter is still unknown, but what's clear is that Joker didn't see it coming. He was gunned down near his home walking with his mom. His death hit the community hard, not just because he died, but because of who he was before the crash out. Teachers, coaches, and old classmates all said the same thing. Noah Scurry had everything going for him. He was supposed to make it out. He was supposed to go to college, but the streets took that away. Samuel Fells High School canceled all boys' basketball games for the week to honor him. His friends couldn't believe the same kid they used to study with was out here beefing with one of the most dangerous cliques in the city. His songs were violent and disrespectful. On his song Swing My Door, he rapped, "You gon' need another hand, try to count up my bodies. You up. He tripped, he f***ed. I done finally got him. How I do a bad if the try to line me. Outside with a 45, deep into Johnny." Joker's story spread quickly across Philly. It wasn't just another murder. It was a reminder that anyone can crash out if they choose the wrong path. He had a future, he had a family, and he had respect in both worlds. But instead of staying on the court, he dove headfirst into the war zone. From whackers to CC, from viral videos to real retaliation, Joker moved like someone who had no intention of getting old, and that's exactly how it ended. Noah's name still rings in Frankfurt. Kids who knew him growing up now debate who Joker really was. Some say he was a good kid who got caught up. Others say he was a young demon pretending to be something he wasn't. But the truth is, Joker was both. He was a high-achieving student and a reckless street figure. And when those two sides finally clashed, there was no saving him. Joker's story is a tragic case of potential loss to the streets. He didn't have to go out like that. He had choices, but the need to prove himself, the hunger for street cred, and the rush of going viral proved stronger than the pull of college or a real future. In the end, he died just as fast as he rose, another crash out gone before 18. Lil Jeff. Bloodhound Lil Jeff was one of the most unpredictable names to come out of the drill scene, and he moved like he knew his time was limited. Coming out of the Bloodhound set in Chicago, Lil Jeff quickly earned a reputation for being both aggressive and uncontrollable. His real name was Jeffrey Harris, and before the internet really caught wind of him, the streets already knew. He was involved in multiple high-profile beefs, kept switching sets, and was known to diss his own former allies. That lack of loyalty, paired with non-stop sliding, earned him respect from some and made him a target for many. Jeff came up around BKN and was cool with members from Trap City, but that alliance didn't last. The falling out reportedly started over a chain. Jeff borrowed a chain from Trap City Carter and refused to give it back. The disrespect escalated until a full-on war broke out between Bloodhound and Trap City. That beef led to multiple shootouts and at least 3 confirmed bodies. But what made Jeff a crash out wasn't just his involvement. It was how reckless he moved while it was all going down. He didn't play politics. He went directly at whoever he had a problem with. He didn't care about the consequences. In interviews, Jeff openly said he was starting a killing school. On Joker OTV, he laughed while describing how many people he allegedly had shot. He boasted about sliding with Glocks, switches, and even bigger weapons. In his music, he was even more aggressive. In the track, "Ah," Jeff rapped, "you would think a bap. If I told you about what I did, when I speak, it's only facts." He was screaming, "Ah," when he got hit. Real tough up on the net. Now he on the floor looking like a bitch. That bar came out after Monty and Lil Rob were gunned down in what many believe was retaliation for setting Jeff up. According to street rumors, Monty and Lil Rob had helped line up a robbery against Jeff and were allegedly involved in backdooring him. Not long after, both were found. The drill community started connecting dots after Jeff dropped lines in "ah," like his best friend and he wished he was with him. Won't take too long till he right there with him. He thought he was going. I was right there with him. These weren't random bars. They matched the timing of the double murder, and fans believe Jeff was admitting to it indirectly. Whether he pulled the trigger or not, the city took note. But the biggest crash-out moment came on June 8th, 2024. Jeff was riding around in a stolen striker with switches and multiple Bloodhound members. He spotted a Trap City op on the block and started chasing him. The op ran into a house and Jeff followed, reckless and without a plan. That's when Trap City Rob came out from a side angle and fired. Jeff got hit multiple times and collapsed on the spot. The video footage of the hit spread fast. People online said Jeff got caught doing the splits as he tried to duck the shots. His body lay slumped as Trap City celebrated another score in the war. Jeff's death wasn't just a tragedy, it was the final chapter of a self-destructive run. He had gone from being a potential star in the Bloodhound camp to a wild card who didn't listen to anybody. OGs from the city had tried to warn him to slow down. Even people in his own crew knew he was there. After his death, his name stayed in headlines. The video of the fatal slide went viral. Bloodhound members paid tribute online, while others in the city mocked his downfall. One of his ops posted a photo of a chalk outline with the caption, "Guess the kid school flunked him out." The retaliation wasn't far behind. A few weeks after Jeff's death, members from Bloodhound allegedly slid back on Trap City. Trap City Carter was killed, and Carter's sister was reportedly shot at during the funeral. Fans speculated Q50 or other Bloodhound members were involved, but it was never confirmed. Still, the message was clear. Jeff's death wasn't being left unanswered. Jeff had even joked in one of his videos that if he ever died, his friends could snitch on him because he wouldn't be around to face it. But the problem is, snitching on Jeff also means exposing the people around him. And that's what has Bloodhound so tense even now. Jeff pushing forward, like he knew he wouldn't live to see 25. In the end, he didn't even make it to see 22. Now his music still gets played in Chicago, mostly by younger Bloodhound fans who see him as a legend. But for the older heads, Jeff is a cautionary tale. A kid who had talent, energy, and charisma, but let ego and pain guide every decision. He made great songs, but even better enemies. And when those enemies caught him slipping, there was no escape. Bloodhound Lil Jeff lived fast, rapped loud, died publicly. His lyrics were more than music. They were warnings. And now, every bar hits different, knowing how his story ended. J was born to crash out. From the moment he jumped off the porch at 13, stealing cars and getting into the streets of Burnside, he never looked back. His name was Taon Bush, but everybody knew him as 800 TJ, one of the loudest and most reckless faces from the 800 set, repping 93rd and Cottage Grove on the south side of Chicago. His childhood was unstable. His dad was around, but constantly in and out of jail. TJ found family in the streets, and around 2016 to 2017, he started hanging out near 61st and Cottage, home to the infamous 800 gang. That crew was full of Mickey Cobras and nicknamed themselves the Snakes. They were known citywide for snaking their own allies and having beef with pretty much every major set in the city. 069, Ambulok, Mix Mob, STL, 051, Pocket Town, Gyro City, you name it. TJ fit in perfectly. He wasn't just active. He was a loudmouth with no filter. His name started ringing bells after the 2020 hit on a 069 Face World member named Bando Hothead, real name Damon Rogers. The story goes 800 set up a fake gun trade. When Hothead turned his back, they allegedly lit him up, shot groin, head, and back. Seen at just 17. This hit made waves because Face World was tied to M-Block, and once that body dropped, 800 terajoules made it his mission to taunt them, and the M-Block camp wanted revenge by any means. 2 years later, a retaliation attempt would turn deadly, but not for TJ. On July 11th, 2022, M-Block affiliate Spaz, real name David Clay, drove into Snake territory looking to catch something. He thought he spotted a member on a bike, followed him, but got ambushed himself. Someone pulled up on him and let off shots. Spaz was hit in the chest and died at the hospital. Another man with him, Charles Brown, was hit in the chest and arm and died days later. TJ went live after the news, mocking Spaz. Shorty was walking like, damn, you get hit with a chopper on you. He made sure everybody knew. 800 was up. He even told his ops directly, we up 2 to y'all 0. That scoreboard mentality is what made TJ such a dangerous crash out. He didn't just drill, he wanted credit for it in real time. He'd hop on Instagram Live with his ops from M-Block and start talking wild, counting bodies, taunting them to slide, and even setting up meetups. Most of these lives were with a dude named DIY from M-Block, and these two were damn near setting up public outs on camera. TJ didn't flinch. He would show his location live, daring anybody to do something. This cat and mouse game had real consequences. M-Block members would film themselves spinning through 800 blocks trying to catch TJ, and TJ would pop out laughing, calling them goofy for missing him. He had no fear. He knew his set was hated by the whole city and still moved like he was invincible. But that recklessness caught up to him. On July 10th, 2024, TJ made what would be his last Instagram post. A screenshot of DMs showing that he had stolen a gun from a member of a crew called MCB. The dude's name was Get Wild Kane. In the DMs, Kane told him straight up, you gon' die. TJ laughed it off, made the threat public, and bragged about robbing him. The next day, Kane went live and said that TJ didn't steal anything and that he's going to give TJ 48 hours. Within 24 hours, TJ was gone. On July 11th, 2024, TJ was riding in a car on I-94 northbound, near 83rd and 79th in the Chatham neighborhood. Around 5:17 p.m., another car pulled up and let off shots. TJ was hit multiple times and died shortly after. He was only 22 years old. But what stood out the most wasn't just that TJ died. It was how he died after publicly taunting death for years. He dissed his ops, bragged on live, set up meetups, and stole a gun from a known hitter, then got murked in broad daylight on the highway. That's crash out energy at its peak. He was the definition of a crash out. No mask, no filter, no plan. Just smoke, beef, and endless disrespect. And in the end, it caught up to him.